here.
Video.
Probably
Too
can't
close
see
to my
this on the
face.
video,
You
that's
don't wanna
fine,
put
but this is a list, or this is a Wikipedia page for all the different ways of measuring radiation. The type that we want to look at is the dose equivalent. The dose equivalent of radiation is basically, it's defined as effect on tissue per certain amount of dose. So if you take, the unit I'm used to is rem, so we'll go with that. If you've collected so many millirem, that's basically, it's sort of like tissue damage, sort of. People collect 60 millirem per year easily. You collect, actually, is that right? Dose equivalent, 1 sievert is 1 sievert to a rem. We go here. Okay, yeah. Average person is exposed to about 620 millirems of radiation a year. A chest x-ray gives you about 10 millirem. A 6-hour flight in a jetliner gets you about 3 millirem. For people who work in nuclear power industry, the amount of radioactive exposure that you're allowed to get from the nuclear power plant is limited to about 250 millirem a year. So you're getting, you're working in a nuclear power plant, you're getting negligibly more radiation than normal. The amount of contamination that's gone out to that's gone out in Fukushima, there's been some effect, but it's pretty small. It's going to be temporary. Once the relatively short-lived decay products go away, everything's going to be fine. That's my prediction. It is just a prediction. But, long story short, radiation is not contamination. Jack, you wanted to know about nuclear propulsion. I know. Nuclear power generally comes from 2 basic sources, at least as far as we're concerned. As far as we're concerned right now, the 2 basic sources revolve around hot rocket makes steam turbine go. You know, same process behind which a coal power plant works or gas power plant works or whatever. In some cases, instead of hot rock makes steam, it's hot rock heat up gas, hot gas makes turbine go for gas turbine plants. But in any event, it's mostly a matter of, hey, look, your nuclear pile is your hot rock instead of coal or gas or whatever. Your other type of nuclear power is RTGs. Go back to the top here. Radioisotope thermoelectric generator, which is a real fancy way of saying you've got a little radioactive thing that's basically acting like a battery. It slowly decays over time, and just the decay stuff coming off of it is being converted into it decays over time. That decay creates heat, and that heat is, you want to ask about coal. Great. That heat is converted into electricity through the thermoelectric effect. This is used to power things like satellites, and that's the sort of power supply that you'd use to power space probes, ion engines, whatnot. The only other real sort of nuclear propulsion that I can think of was the Orion system, something they came up with back in the 70s or the 80s. I don't remember exactly when it was done. It's pretty much, you're in the video. Aries is taping.
It's fine, Jay. You can be in there. People don't mind pretty face.
It's up on this screen too. Right, lazy bastard. What was I saying? Oh, right, Orion. Basically, it involves having a spaceship at the end of with a dish at the end of it, and you detonate a nuke right under the dish.
Beast.
The overpressure effect, or the pressure effect, is what pushes the spacecraft. In order to keep going fast, or in order to get more acceleration, you pop more nukes behind you. Turns out that entire concept is really against international law, since everyone said no nukes in space back in the day.
Facts.
So they kind of canceled it. But it worked really, really well. It was going to let us get to the moon pretty goddamn fast. But hey, what can you do?
Now, no nukes in space, and the downside of doing something like the Orion project, what say most likely ecological damage is probably
You're
the
wondering
biggest
what,
concern.
what sort of ecological damage would
Can-
you get from the Orion project?
Can any negative effect on planet Earth, or the people, or any negative effect, period, be done by a project similar to the Orion project?
Would something like the Orion project
I know
cause
the answer.
any significant ecological damage? Is that your question?
Right.
Okay. Yes, no. Depends on what it depends on your tolerances. Depends on how you define nuclear damage. In this case, something that a lot of people don't get to in a second. Oh, something that a lot of people don't realize is that nukes don't tend to cause a lot of radiation. Something like a nuclear power plant burning puts a lot of radioactive contamination into the air. Something like a nuke makes in all of the stuff that could be radioactive contamination, makes it all detonate, which means it's all becoming not nuclear anymore because it's all doing its radioactive thing right now. And at this point, nobody cares about the radiation anymore. Everybody cares about the great big fucking fireball. Okay? So,
Should we say that on the
nuclear bombs tend to
Can we
be
find
pretty
what the-
clean. Right. Nuclear bombs tend to be pretty clean.
Okay.